No. Basically, General, before, yeah, and basically, Iran was sending their missiles over. Jordan was intercepting. Yeah. And when they were going through the South Passageway, Saudi was also intercepting as well. Pakistan came today and said to King Abdullah III, if you intercept another missile, we will basically bomb Amman. And that's when... Who said this? The Pakistani president or prime minister. I don't know how it works. Is there any report of this, or is this just like social media stuff? No, it's a report of it. I saw it on Twitter. It's the actual report. You go check it. Go on Twitter. You see 100%. Where is it? Sorry. I'll get it for you. But let me just quickly finish what I was saying. No worries. So basically, Pakistan, long story short, so someone from Pakistan, I don't know who, but someone in the government said, long story short, telling Jordan to stop intercepting the missiles, or we will come for Amman, which is the capital city of Jordan. And then Jordan haven't came out with a statement, but Saudi, Qatar, Oman all came out with a statement, and it's official as well, saying they condemn the Israeli airstrikes, so they won't be getting involved either way. They're basically saying we'll let Iran basically bomb Tel Aviv and Israel, and we are not going to intercept any missiles, vice versa. That's what it basically... I can read what it says on Twitter. It says, the president of Pakistan to the king of Jordan, do not intercept the Iranian missiles or you will find me in Amman. You are just a worm in the Zionist manure. Wow. But this is social media. This is, basically social media. I still need to get it corroborated, basically, Yeah. So, yeah.
That would be. It
just doesn't seem like language.
That would be like the best statement that ever came out of any country.
Yeah. I dropped a tweet out. So. Yeah, if true. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I'm seeing different. I'll keep looking for.
I think ultimately the most significant thing that's going to determine the outcome is whatever's going on behind the scenes, and that is whether the combined pressure with back channels between Russia and China on the US is going to convince the US to back down or not. And I don't know where it's going to go. My strongest feeling is still, I've said this all along, this is all a ploy for the US to go ahead and carry out its attack and more importantly, a regime change. I believe the regime change is actually more important than the military operations. However, I'm open to being proven wrong now. But I'm proved wrong, and that behind the scenes, the Chinese will. And I believe that's why Saudi and all these others are changing the tune. They can't do that without the backing of China and so on. And because China is doing all these financial deals behind the scenes to woo them over to their side, the Saudis can be more brave now. Up until very recently, the Saudis attacked everything. All of that dynamic is now changing because the power shift behind the scenes is towards China. And in fact, I believe Saudi even recently kind of didn't quite go along with those talks that the US, they were trying to cajole them into the shit knowing this was coming. Saudi didn't quite play ball. And these are all signs that the symmetry is shifting.
Rob, I have another conspiracy theory here. So
okay, I like conspiracy theories.
Yeah, so
I love them. Yeah, I'm all over it. It's one of my favorite things. Seriously, not joking. Well, next one, go. No,
it's 99. There is an election in Iran which brought up what is called pyramid power, and that really threatened the fundamental Islamists, which, for example, the Osama bin Laden are like the main representative, and that led to 9/11, just to fuck up that reformist action. Now, right now another reform government, same ideology. This is Iran. So that first one was Khatami. This one is positional. This is again after the reformists never came into power in Iran. This is the first time the reformists came to the power again. And this is freaking out the fundamental Jewish people. So that my idea is that all these things that you see is just against a version of Islam which that's basically the conspiracy I'm doing.
I didn't quite follow you, but the overall gist sounds plausible to me. I don't know if everybody else in the room understood that better than me, maybe.
Yo, wait, fan, are you Iranian?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay. Yo, what the fuck? Bro, I don't even call myself ex-Somali. What the fuck, bro? Even though I was not born there, I never call myself, bro. Iranians are funny, bro. I have an Iranian friend. He's a very good friend of mine. Like, he tells me, like, you know, he doesn't like what Israel is doing. You know, he doesn't like what he also criticizes the government, you know? He criticizes the government. You know, he criticizes the government. You know, like, honestly, bro, monarchy, Iran are just crazy, bro. Monarchy, Iran.
I agree with you. I'm totally for reformist Islam, but I have problem with Iranians for different reasons. I don't want to call myself ex-Iranians.
Okay, whatever makes you sleep at night. Whatever can make you sleep.
I am who I say I am. So
yes, you are what you say. I can agree with you, my dear. Do what you like. Do what you like. Be what you like. Everyone's got their own choices.
Always remember, my nigga, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, you heard?
Of course, bro. Of course. I 100% believe that I'm Muslim, bro.
I suppose, based on that conspiracy, though, how do you think that frames things right now? How do you think that will influence events going forward if your conspiracy is true?
What do you mean?
Well, the point of this discussion, I'm assuming, is to understand what the likely outcome is going to happen, right? Whether there's going to be a coup within Iran, whether there are power factions that the US and Israel are trying to.
It's going to happen, bro. You know, they wrote a whole plan, State Breakthrough Report 1996, Projects for a New American Century, and that thing where they said 7 countries in 5 years. The last country on the list, my dear brother, is Sudan. I mean, it's Iran. Okay. And they definitely want to do it, brother. So.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand. I know this is all in the plan. I've been arguing that to everybody in this room, sometimes being mocked for believing that. However, what I'm trying to understand is what this new conspiracy idea, how it affects the outcome, the likely outcome. Will that make it easier for the US to destabilize and regime change Iran, or will it undermine their efforts, more patriotic unity in Iran that will prevent that from happening? I suppose that's my question.
I see where you're coming from. I don't know about that, bro. I can't lie, but let's just hope all the best, bro.
Anas, let me just share something. One of the rockets that landed in central Israel destroyed shelters. It's in a place called Petah Takfa.
Petah Takfa, wow.
It was a bunk.
Maybe that's